All right. I think we're live. We are still getting set up. We're sorry for the delay game. We are doing this in person from Brewery Outré, and it just took a little longer to get set up and organized. So if you're in chat with a couple of people that are in there now, if you can let me know if I sound okay, we'll get the other guys set up in the beer court in just a minute, and we'll get started here shortly. So that was probably loud and annoying.
We're already.
I had to because we pushed back
time.
again and again and again and again. So,
all right, three people. Hi.
They'll be on in just a second, and then. Oh yeah, good comment.
How you doing, man?
Good. Jordan, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we don't know each other as well. I don't know. We've seen each other meetings. We haven't actually seen each other meetings. We haven't actually talked.
Yeah, since you've been in with the it's a little bit more. My participation's waned as my kids gotten older.
Let us know if you can hear Ted and I through this mic right here. If everything's good, then I guess we'll work on getting
episode 97. This
Maybe.
is something blind tasting American lagers. We've talked about this forever. Do you have some things? We'll get that. So super excited to finally get the chance to do this. There's been some other, kind of pro brewers that have gotten together and tasted American lagers and kind of ranked them. And I think a couple of our favorite ones are the ones where hams came out on top. So we are going to be doing 2 flights tonight, lining up some of the more common, larger macro lagers against hams. And then the second flight, we'll be doing kind of some more of the historical American lagers. So the second flight's going to be things like old style and I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on all of these. I should have written them down.
I saw Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
Old style Strohs.
Strohs.
Yeah, hams is going to be in both flights so that we can try to find the hams because we're all, 3 of us are hams all week.
I purposely didn't drink a Hams earlier today. Just
I have not had an American light lager, like a Hams or anything like that. Probably like a week.
Right on.
Never had it all.
So now that you're sitting at the table, thank you, Ted, for hosting us and letting us use your space for this. We really appreciate it. Excited to have you trying the beers with us and picking them out. I actually think, we were talking about this a little earlier, I think that I haven't myself drank like half of these beers. So I don't know how I'm going to be able to say this is old Milwaukee versus whatever, but
I'm ready to be wrong. But I am really excited for this. I'm one of the informal friends, formally or informally friends.
So the first flight is going to be Budweiser, PBR. Actually, I should make note of this. It's going to be Bud, PBR, Coors, and this is Coors Banquet. So the original Coors, and
Hams,
of course. But there's one more, Miller High Life. So first flight, Bud, PBR, Coors, Hams, High Life, in no particular order. I feel like I'm rambling, but we focused on full strength, standard lagers, American lagers for this. There's no light beers in the flight. There's no imports. I actually shopping and buying the beers and seeing all the cool light beers and all the imports makes me want to do this again. Like, we got a couple more shows out of this. Like, I'd like to line up, like the European import lagers or Euro Mexican lagers.
Okay.
And of course, the light beers. We can't get Ham Special Light anymore, but there's plenty of other ones we can start dipping into. Natural Light.
I don't think I've ever had the Kirkland one.
It's really bad. It's so bad that I use friends memory back so that no one would drink it by her.
Love it.
I I haven't seen that in the stores in years, though.
I was gonna say at one point, I think it was the Kirkland IPA pack was pretty decent.
Yeah, I had that. That was the Citra IPA.
Yeah,
Was it Kirkland brand?
Yeah.
it's Kirkland branded, but I believe it's brewed by a Chicago-based brewery. I'm trying to remember, but yeah.
Hey, Casey.
Hey, yeah. So we've got some people in chat now. We've got some viewers. So again, if we don't sound good or you can't hear us or anything like that, please let us know. This is all hobbled together in the last couple of minutes. So
Also a special thank you to you'll see her in a second, but Shayna is our special steward tonight, so we can be served blind.
whenever you're ready.
So
Yeah.
let's see how that goes. Yeah, sure.
All right. So she's bringing out 5 beers at once. We'll have all 5 numbered 1 to 5. And again, it's going to be Pud, PBR, Coors, Hams, High Life.
So I think the idea is sort of all taste them one at a time and sort of talk about maybe like what we're tasting. As we're doing that, maybe start to put together like a file of like, okay, is this a Bud, a PBR? Yeah. But then like Jason said, we want to play a special mini game in between tasting beers too. We were all really like hams, so we're gonna see if we can pick out the hams.
Are you confident? We should be able to pick out the hams.
I want to say that I am, but if I've done blind tastings before, right? And
we want all of them, right? Just all 5.
You read or watch like Philosophy too and stuff like that, where they do a lot of blind tastings. And like when you're super blind to it, like everything's off the table. So I feel like I'm going to be able to pick out the Coors Bud is like my.
So you have a lot of that.
So I drink a lot of Bud 9 out of the 12 months. I don't drink a lot of Coors, but Coors has a very particular taste.
Yeah, I feel like I've drank a lot of Coors.
To me,
I feel like I'd be able to pick that one out.
Okay. High Life was my like growing up beer. That was my like college beer. So I have experience with these beers. Already looking at these, I don't know. You probably can't see them on the camera, but already looking at them, they're color different.
So I'm curious. There's a lot of discussion around macro lagers and I know these days it's more around the light ones. There's a huge following for the various light beers, but I've just never tried them. So I'm excited to kind of see, I think PBR is generally a little sweeter, which is why I like hams more. I'm an old school High Life drinker as well, and I still am quite fond of High Life. And so, yeah, I can't say that I've had all of these, and so I'm really trying to see like what's different between them. Why do I like one more than the other?
I have a tendency to talk really loud, and my voice carries a little bit. So let me know if my echo is gone. I'm trying to adjust the mic and turn down my gain a little bit too. So maybe Ted and I'll have to talk closer.
All right, so we got 5. All right, you're right. First impressions. There are some definite color differences.
Yeah, it was like
A couple are darker.
specifically number 2. It's
Yeah.
a lot lighter.
Thanks, Casey. Is that still happening? It might be because I'm talking towards Jason's mic.
I get some reverb.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like it.
I was gonna say we can try to pull this one a little bit farther away too, if it helps.
Well, it's gonna pick up from the backside as also. Yeah.
Well, that's right in front of your face.
Yeah.
So it's
I
like,
know.
I think I notice a difference, and then it's like, okay, that's 2 shades off. It's like none of them are actually amber. It's like none of them are actually amber, but at all.
Yeah.
That's where I've started.
Okay.
See, I'm already in my head. One, very familiar. It's got a nice grainy flavor, clean finish, not too sweet.
Yeah, it's well balanced. It has the there's more sulfur in the back like in retro, like when I burp, than I think I get from a hams usually. It feels well balanced. It's not too bitter. It could actually be.
I thought it was going to be a lot more bitter than it is off the aroma.
Aroma's super clean.
It almost has like just a little bit of like skunk or sulfur or something like that. Just something that makes it taste more super macro to me. But I don't know. Like I'm already thinking like this is maybe like I'm already thinking this is
where I'm leaning to.
But I don't know. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna
like making guesses right away.
Yes, but I feel like
Yeah.
everything you said is really cool. Or jiving with me. I feel like it's highlight because it's familiar. It's not sweet, super clean. Really mild across the board on all fronts, which I think because High Life was like my gateway beer, and I feel like this is the gateway beer.
Yep.
But
I'm not going to disagree with that.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with any of that. I've written down.
I will say that. Also, it's very, and I know we haven't gotten into the other ones. It's very champagne-y.
Yeah.
So
Okay. All right.
I think it's High Life.
It's been a long time since I've had Bud. But there's something. But there's something. I remember Bud having a very distinct malt character, or something that among these beers you would say that is a distinct. Almost like there's a certain like card-like-ness to some of these that like this
So
doesn't really have. This
that
is
statement's a good time to transition. Try number 2 then with those words. Because what you just said is kind of what resonated.
I noticed this one had a sweeter. I noticed this one had a sweeter aroma. Right?
Yeah,
This one has more body.
This seems more familiar to me than this.
I feel like the bitterness is a little bit better. This, overall, it feels more like well-rounded. I'm still not convinced that that's the hams.
I don't think that's hams at all. Honestly, I think there's too much flavor for hams.
Yeah, I'm gonna before I like start making guesses. I'm definitely gonna have to go through all of these, but for sure, more body, more well-rounded, more bitter. None of that sulfury character that one was. There's like a nice mild sweetness, but I don't think it's actual sweetness. I think that's like the adjunct. Like I think it's like a nice like corn or something, or rice or something.
There is a distinctive flavor in there, as opposed to number 1.
Mm-hmm. That's the point. It has flavor,
and it sticks with you.
Doesn't
Like,
I get a little
flavors
bit though. I
stick
think
around.
in my head when you talked about cardboard, just a slight, not in a bad way. I feel like that's what I get out of that.
It's not in a bad way. It's not really in a bad way. It's like maybe it's even a
I can see, yeah, Woody.
cardboard kind of.
so maybe a little astringent. Is that like because right now, like now that you said that, like I'm like feeling my tongue or whatever, right? And it's like
It feels like it's coated in foam. Yeah. That's kind of. Yep.
Lower carbonation level too than 1.
3 has the most foam on it still for me.
You're right. Mine too.
This.
It's very close to 2 for me. More acetaldehyde, maybe more that green apple,
I don't.
a little bit.
I get that.
You're usually really sensitive to it, so I could totally be wrong.
Only
but there's-
because you say it. Like very rarely do I analyze these beers so much. I'm like, what do you mean bitterness? None of these have bitterness. Like it's not even on my radar.
Sam, I'm getting like a slight acid
course they
tone kind of.
I can see some of that a little bit. It doesn't leave It's cleaner than number 2. It doesn't leave my mouth coated with anything. Number 2 just kind of felt like it stuck around.
Josh Buck's in here. He says, "Hams gang, we're hoping we can pick it out, Josh. I don't know, man."
Yeah, I think this one is thinner too, like the less on the mouthfeel.
Mm-hmm. I just went back to 2 and back to 3 again, and I wonder if it's because 3 is more carbonated. Like it's a little more spritzy.
I don't know what number 2 is, but
3 seems pretty familiar to me, and I drink a lot of PBR.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm ready to be wrong, but I could be wrong. I'm ready to be wrong.
I haven't come up with
I like PBR.
I don't think it's got the sweetness that I'm associating with PBR, but it's been a long time too. So
I don't get that adjunct flavor, that distinct flavor that I do with 2. Or 2 doesn't have or 3 doesn't have the same flavor as 2. Like that. Whatever this had has something different.
I think it is like a brighter profile. Like even if it's like that green apple, acetaldehyde,
Yeah.
like it
so
pops a bit.
just for information, in this flight, Coors is the only one in a glass bottle. The others are cans. And so that was what kind of came to my mind, was almost like a light struck, but very light, because it is a brown bottle.
I thought I got some of that out of 1.
The skunk.
Go back to 1.
Oh yeah, I get some.
The highlight was from
I just took a sip of number 4, so I worked ahead a little bit. But after going from 4 to 1, that skunkiness pops right out.
I wonder that.
I know. It's like I keep adding.
I know.
Familiar. Seems familiar.
That is the cleanest of these beers so far, in my opinion. It is very much just like that is the beer flavored beer of these
I know, I'm
beers.
wondering if that's the hams now.
That's my initial taste was that.
like apple sweetness, not green apple, but just like apple cider sweetness.
Yeah.
Perception of sweetness.
I will say maybe I should have brought some crackers, because it's getting lined up here.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, might be good.
Yeah,
Oh,
we got some
yeah,
pretzels.
sure.
That's great.
So we're working through this. We'll know better for next time.
So 4, has
I get like
it's just really super well balanced with everything. No, maybe just like a little sweet graininess on the nose, but like no sulfur. The malt profile is very clean. The bitterness is very clean.
I haven't tasted number 5, but if I were to take a stab at any one of these 4 big 4,
What's going to be terrible is that like number 4 is going to be like Bud.
I think that's number 2.
And I'm not going to be disappointed about it. Like this may change my mind. I'm
I
like,
think number 2 is Budweiser. That's the first thing I wrote down as soon as I tasted it. Like there's always that distinct.
There's more than just the flavor. I mean, there's a lot more that goes into it. And of course, I feel like we live in the culture of hams that we have is important.
that's fair.
But I am excited too. I'm not opposed to saying I'm going to start buying more of this other lager. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to watch people, and I know it's not in this flight, but I used to work at a grocery store and saw people walk out with pallets of Old Milwaukee every day. So there's got to be something about that beer that's good.
You know what I just thought of? Something that would be fun to do. Like if we keep doing more of these, we can have some third party, like a Shayna or an Amy or an Andrea or somebody, put together the list ahead of time and the order ahead of time, and we can somehow get that mailed out without us knowing.
Oh yeah, and have some other people.
Yep, and so anybody watching can maybe like buy some stuff and do it.
Appreciate that, Ted.
That'd be
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. If you eat these too close to the mic, it's gonna come like an ASMR video. You're like people eating.
Yeah. Josh says Hams is on tap at Sugar Bowl. I've never been to Sugar Bowl. Is that where you were when you were like super wasted texting me and you were like, "They have Hams on
That
tap"?
was timeout in Galesburg. I haven't been to Sugar Bowl in years. But all right.
5.
See, after having that, I think I'm getting the sweetness off of it that I wasn't picking up before.
So 5 is back to having that like kind of sulfury thing to me. It also has like there's something sort of off or wrong about like bitterness for me in this beer. Yeah, you see that? Yeah, that face. Yeah, there's something just a little off tasting about this.
That does not taste familiar at all. But I've had all these, so like
it's verging on that like that mousiness flavor that you get in cider. It's like it's not there, but it's like
So
yeah.
I've only tried Banquet one time. I think I was talking to you about it, and then it was the day I sold my house. I stopped and got a tall boy of Banquet, sat out on my deck. It was the last beer I had on my house, and I'm bummed because it was shit and I didn't like it. And that's just reminds me of that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would bet that this is
All right.
I feel like Bud has such a higher quality control than us. Like,
well, and when I taste a beer like this, I never assume it's flawed. I just assume that that's how it was made 200 years ago, and they've intended to keep it that way.
So after taking all that, like I'm fairly confident in my number 4 guess.
let's keep talking about it, but let's write down our guesses maybe without talking about it, just so we're not influencing each other maybe in that way. Maybe we can do that for the second round too. It's maybe not make any guesses so we're not influencing each other. That'd be cool.
I think five, by one shade might be the darkest.
I'll give you that. I feel like 5 and 3 are darker.
Yeah, 2 is the lightest and 5 is probably the
Yeah,
darkest.
2 stands out as the lightest.
I'm gonna go back through these now.
Oh man. I really feel like if I can't guess the names correctly, that I've failed and I should just stop anything with beer.
I have mine.
My guesses.
I have mine.
Part of me wants to like do it right away because once we hear what they are, I want to taste them and be like, oh really, and I want to make like maybe associations or something. But
I have my guesses too.
and I feel like for other styles of beer, these conversations might be a little bit more in depth. It's sort
Right,
of like American lager, probably, right? Like all these are pretty
It's the same
damn.
point. Like I'd like to do this with light beers, but I feel like it's going to be even worse. Like
Yeah.
not a lot of substance. That's really why I wanted to do the second flight. And I, shout out to Josh Buck for throwing some extra beers out in our in my post because I ran out today and bought what I could, and then we got to enough to expand it into 2 flights just to kind of fill up an hour or so. But yeah, do you want to? So I think I got mine. I think we're all there. Ted, how are you doing?
Yeah.
So I said we were gonna. So I rank them.
Oh yeah, I didn't rank.
Go ahead and rank your beer.
Ranking them in like actual preference. Ranking
Yeah.
actual preference.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess yeah. It's like there's personal. Okay, I guess yeah. It's like there's personal preference, which I know. my mentality with these beers, I'm like, it really is what it is. It's like, they're not trying to be the best. They just know what they are.
Right.
Like, that's what it is. All right, take it or leave it.
I have my rankings now too.
All right, so my least favorite is number 5. Anybody else have a different least favorite?
Number 2.
Number 2?
Really?
Oh, really?
That was my number
There's just something about that distinct flavor that I'm not a fan of. It too just hung around.
What's your least favorite?
No, wait, are you all like dedicated fans? No, wait, are you all
Pretty-
like dedicated
pretty
fans?
I've got 30 cases.
I probably don't drink as much hams as they do. Probably. I'm more like a suitcase like every 2 months.
That's probably where I'm at too.
No, okay.
Number 3 is my favorite. I'm convinced. Number 3 is my favorite. I'm convinced 3 is PBR.
What's your least
Oh,
favorite?
okay.
I get, like 5 has the most character. I get, like 5 has the most character, for better for worse.
get that too.
But if I had to drink beer from the pitcher, like all night long, I guess I would go with something more neutral.
So it's funny. I also think 3 is PBR, and that's in the middle of the pack for me.
I put highlight.
For number 3?
I wasn't sure. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. It was either going to be it's either Coors or PBR. I was in between those two.
Interesting. So we're kind of all over the board. I think. So your favorite.
Did everybody?
Number
My
4?
favorite was number 4.
Okay. Your favorite was, you said, was number 3, and mine was number 4. So the money now is that the favorite is number 4. I think that's hams. Are you ready for the list?
Yeah.
So I thought 2 was hams based on.
Yeah. What's the
Remember
list
hams
in
having
the first
less
place?
mouthfeel?
Shayna's gonna bring us the information.
So I think 4 has moderate mouthfeel. I put that down as like maybe second most mouthfeel, 5 being the most.
Okay.
3 is pretty much in the middle.
All right.
1 and 2 are both lighter.
So
Okay.
let's go this way. I thought number 1 was High Life. Bud.
PBR.
I put Bud.
High Life. What was number 1?
I said High Life.
PBR.
Shit.
1 for 1.
For number 2, I said Bud.
But
I think I'm wrong.
That's when I said PBR.
I think I'm wrong about every single one. It's like once one falls.
Yeah.
Is what?
Oh wow.
I said hams. I don't drink much hams.
I said number 3 was PBR, so I know I'm wrong.
yeah, I said Coors for 3, and that was wrong on that one.
I said High Life for 3.
Oh, Brian.
Nice.
Point.
I feel better about myself now.
Oh my! I ranked.
So here we're down to hams and
We're
Bud.
down to hams and Bud.
I rank these 2 beers as
Oh my gosh.
least favorite.
Same. Oh, it's been number 5.
Oh, hams.
What's number 4?
Wait.
Oh!
Wait, I got that one right.
I can't believe that.
That's so funny.
Wow.
John is so disappointed right now.
Two.
To his Coors.
I rank that as my least favorite. And I used to drink Coors all the time.
I did too.
I rank Bud as my favorite, and hams is my least favorite.
Yeah.
Hams was my second to least favorite.
I
PBR was my second though, and that's the one that I got right.
I'm drinking that Bud right now, and man, that is good beer still. Like,
this is embarrassing. It is the worst possible outcome.
Maybe I rated it so high because this is my bowling beer, right? This is what I drink for 3/4 of the year.
I said Bud because of that apple cider character I have associated with Bud.
Dude, it's hard, man.
That's really difficult.
You should try it. You should try it, Matt. It's tough to hear, is what it is.
It is.
Like,
It makes me want to.
PBR,
not by hams.
PBR overall is coming out pretty well in terms of line percent. You're like, oh, that is the champagne.
What rank did you
That is
have
the
PBR at?
champagne of light beer is PBR.
3.
Yeah, I had High Life and PBR.
I put Coors as my number 2.
And the other.
I would have put that second or third.
Yeah, PBR was second. High Life was
That's so funny.
third, but I thought that was PBR.
I find that wild.
Coors, I'm still happy that I thought Coors sucked. I mean, Coors is my number 4, and
That was my number 5, man.
Coors is a really good beer for what it is. He picks up peach notes when he drinks it.
yeah, let me see.
And other Matt McClellan says we suck.
Okay, so number 3 was High Life, right? Okay, so number 3 was High Life, right?
Casey says, don't feel too bad. I just failed a triangle test between
You know,
two.
it's funny. Matt just mentioned that peach flavor, and I took a drink of it, and I get it. I get that flavor quite a bit.
Should
I already finished 2 of mine, so I'll mix this up. Yeah. I'm heartbroken.
Are you so disappointed in this?
So no, she's got it. It's already poured. It's already poured.
Okay.
So I have to Ham's fan club group that I'm in now.
Should we not? Should we have even live streamed this?
Yeah, we're just gonna delete this. All right, thanks guys. See you later.
We're here.
So I've gotten 1 out of 5.
I think. Yeah. Did you get any of those right?
No.
What is statistical chance? What is statistical chance?
Nope.
Yeah, I guess I don't. Yeah, we need somebody.
For what?
I'm like, wait a minute, that should be. I'm like, wait a minute, that should be.
What's that?
Maybe that is statistical chance. Maybe that is statistical chance. You just guess any 1 out of 5.
20%.
You'll be right. Yeah. So I'm at statistical.
Yeah, so
I'm at statistical chance
Yeah.
of being right.
yeah, pretty much. Which means Jason should get 2 out of the next 5, right?
But out of the next 5, I've only had like
Listen, I haven't had
I've
many
only
of
had
these.
2. I think. So
Yeah, these are going to be. Well, so here's the thing. We know what the hams taste like.
We do.
So here, this is where I'm going. Where did you get that hams from?
Meyer. Go Road.
Which Meyer? I don't think Gulroad Meyer are hams drinkers. I think Jack is like a year
It
old.
might be. I mean, the can
Can
should
date from can.
date should have it on there.
Yeah.
But
We're looking for
I bought
Yeah, I know.
every one of those beers at Meyer on Go Road. So that entire flight came from.
Okay. Well, they're obviously Bud drinkers out there, and not hams drinkers. Yeah. I've always been a Bud drinker. It's my boy.
Yeah, you aren't wearing the hat.
Literally where
The beers in the next flight, yes. So to answer Matt's question, is going to be old style, Stroh's,
This is the only one that I've had, I think.
Old Milwaukee, Busch,
I've had Busch.
and Hams.
Okay, so only 2 of them have I not had.
Yeah, I believe I don't know that I've ever had a Busch, a plain Busch. I've had Busch Apple, Busch Peach, Busch Light.
The bowling alley that I bowl at, sells Busch, and Russ Waller really likes it. That's like his favorite shit beer.
Okay.
And I'm really scared.
It's gonna come out on top.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be great. We'll send this to Russ when you
Three of
rank
us
that as your first.
ranked Bud is ours.
Matt, we have Old Style, Stroh's, Old Milwaukee, Busch, and Hams in this lineup.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I've had Old Style. I don't think I've had Stroh's. I'm pretty positive I've never had Old Milwaukee. I've never drank a straight Busch. And obviously I hate hams. So
We all do.
Question: do we get the Busch?
no.
Damn, that matters.
All right. So for this one, even though it obviously did not help us in the last round, no people talk about guesses.
Yep.
Just
I
descriptors.
feel like I finished the first flight. So cheers.
Yeah, just down mine.
Oh yeah, I think I finished mine. Oh, no.
I probably would have still been completely wrong, but I do feel like I caved to peer pressure based on There's also impressions about the beer. Like PBR was so much cleaner than
I was surprised on my notes.
clean. I never thought about it that way.
In the past, I'd said I don't like PBR because of the sweetness, and I actually wrote not too sweet for it. So
Interesting. Matt Jagger is asking if some of these are regional. Like, do you know?
Old Style is very regional. Old Style is like the beer I'm pointing. I don't know which one it is. Old Style is like the Chicago.
So at least the Midwest, probably. I think Coors brews hams these days.
Brewed in Milwaukee.
Is it? It's
Yeah,
not Coors.
I thought Hams was.
Oh, is it?
No, it's I
feel like there's several giant Milwaukee contract brewers who still exist.
believe it's AB InBev.
I mean, like
But-
100 years ago, 5 year barrel batches.
Normally, I would do this on the computer so you don't see me saying it on my phone. But I'm gonna Google it real quick. Who brews hams?
Yeah, I've already
We're
started.
starting.
Miller Coors. You're right. Yeah, Miller Coors.
That's right. Coors does it. Okay. Ooh, right off the bat.
Yeah, that.
Try or finish.
That's what I was gonna say. It doesn't
Really
linger.
dry.
That's what I was gonna say. It doesn't linger. Fairly clean. There's a distinct flavor in this. I don't think we had this one in our last one. We had this one.
I feel like I get some of that apple sweet, like yeah.
Apple cardboard is what I get there.
Yeah. To go back to takers though, so Old Style is brewed in Chicago's. It's like the beer of the Cubs. Stroh's was specifically a Detroit brewery that was just recently resurrected, like in the last few years. And so that one's pretty regional. The other three I think are pretty national. PBR, Busch, and Old Mill should be national.
I forgot to even consider color, but it looks like number 6 is
You
pretty
know,
light.
I don't think color would help me at all.
I think seven's the darkest.
Seven's the darkest. Yeah.
Yeah.
6 and 10 look to be the
Yeah,
lightest.
maybe mine almost looked like
Because
this.
Because this is OG Stroh's, not like Stroh's Vienna lager. I think they came out with like once they started brewing it again, they made like a high quality version of the original. It was either like a high quality version of the original or like a new version of the original, which is like more like craft.
No,
I think.
I didn't know that.
I think I'm remembering that
No,
correctly.
you're right. This is the OG, regular, original Stroh's. Because I actually think I did have that Stroh's Vienna Lager-esque style. No worries, Matt. Stroh's was the that was the fermenter that Larry had. I wonder if he kept that in the sale.
Yeah.
So
I imagine so.
the story, if you're local here, if you're in Michigan, you got to tour the Bell's production facility in Comstock. Larry Bell rescued one of the original wooden Tro's tanks.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're right. He took two, but I think in reassembling he only got one. He had to use one for parts. And in the brewery, he had a special room built for the Stroh's tank. It was one of the original wooden tanks that they brewed with in Detroit. And I actually hoping Larry's watching and he chimes in.
It's open top.
And he rebuilt it, and it just sat there filled with water. Because I think he'd always planned to do something with it. At least I believe our tour guide told us it's hydrated, but they hadn't done anything with it. Did they?
No, they brewed
One was
beer.
disassembled.
They brewed one beer that was at the pub. I'm pretty certain. I know they did brew something in it, and I forget if I was on the tour at the time, but they said, it's going to go through the quality lab, and I'm like,
Just right. Yeah.
whatever comes out of it, just send it to the pub at least. But yeah, they had a cooling coil down the side of it, but it's open top. What do you remember? What kind of wood it is? It was a specific type of wood. It was beechwood. It was cedar. It was not oak.
Yeah.
I did that tour. I want to say it came from like
Cypress?
something specific, but I can't recall.
And it was like clearly wasn't made to add flavor. It was just like
Yeah, it was
Well,
really
you want a
neutral.
really tight grain wood for that. Really tight grain wood. Otherwise, it's not
Yeah.
lost flavor.
and it was probably, at least originally, what do they call one of the it's almost like a tarry substance, like a pitch or
Pitch.
pitch. Do you think would it have been pitched?
Yeah.
I think in the tour that we took, this is a side tangent, but this is what we do. But I think in the tour that we took, they talked about how it had dried out so much. That's why when he bought the two tanks and they reassembled it, and they soaked the wood and rehydrated. To reassemble it, he had to take from the one to get to the other. So I wonder if it was pitched together, because if there was pitch, then I think that adds a different seal. I feel like this is just.
And of course, we can just look it up. But
I thought it might.
That actually sounds amazing.
Oh, interesting.
But it was super cool. I don't know if Larry got to keep that or New Holland, New Belgium. Sorry. Look it over. I know I've heard rumors that Larry's thinking about opening a brewery and a museum. That would be really cool if it was in there.
Oh, I didn't know it was going to be a brewery too, but
A brewery and a museum, brewery focused museum. Yeah, it'd be cool if we had that. I don't know. Side topic, but no, I get Apple, and I'm not supposed to say the name, so I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to move on to 7.
most of these I have not had.
Yeah, most of these I have not had in a while.
Apparently I hate hams, but I hate Busch too. So
Number.
At least consistently find.
Oh, I hope we can at least
Well, now, yeah. I would say number 6 is
find
not-
hams. I mean,
Yeah. So I get a very distinct floral note off of 7.
oh,
Like, it
how
was
do you say
very-
that?
compared to everything else that we've had? It was like very.
It's a lot of flavor in that beer for a beer style that shouldn't have any flavor.
Yeah, totally. I wonder if they use like a
It's the hops, so whatever hops they're using, but it's very.
I wonder what they use something distinct for the house or something. Maybe they use like
I like the beach. Yeah, it's have that like. Yeah.
It's actually really good.
I kind of like it
A lot more
too.
flavor
Yeah.
in this than. A lot more flavor in this. This is, y'all might hate me, but it almost gives me like malt beer vibes. Malt beverage.
I would say that it feels like there's less corn
Yeah.
adjunct
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not getting any of that sweetness. It's very dry.
Fairly dry.
fairly, yeah,
It's
fairly
clean
dry.
though. That floral character is not sticking around.
that's actually a really good beer.
So this wouldn't be like a daily driver for me though, I don't think, because it's almost too flavorful, sort of like it's if I want one of these beers that I'm gonna drink while golfing or just like sitting outside in like hot weather or something like that. Like I don't want that.
No, I give you that. You're right. When we go to these American lagers, it's
It is.
right.
more
I'm looking for that.
Sure.
That just chill beer, the hydration beer, the lawnmower beer, whatever.
Yeah, the flavor level in this forces you to think about it.
Right.
It's like every time I take a sip, it's like
Yep.
time I take a sip, me to think about what I'm drinking, and 9
Right.
times out of 10, if I'm picking up, something to just walk around the yard or just chill with drinking, like I don't want to have to sit there and chill. And
I
actually
love
think
Casey
about it.
jumping in and saying, "I hope it's Busch."
I know
That
it's
would be
totally
hilarious.
going to be.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't hate that, but yeah, I think I've mentioned before, like on the show too, like an identifier of a beer that I really like is one that is gone before I actually realize, that I've drank it all. It's when I'm having a conversation and I'm drinking the beer and I keep taking sips of it and I'm not thinking about it, and all of a sudden it's like, shit, I need to go get another one. Those are really good beers to me. Not that a pastry stout can't be a really good beer, or like a New England IPA can't be a really good beer, but like the ones that I gravitate towards most are those conversational beers or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, definitely PBR.
Yeah. Well, or what or what now?
Or High Life.
High life. Yeah. High life now. Yeah, super good beer. I don't know what Old Style Strohs or Old Milwaukee tastes like, so it's going to be.
I don't feel like I've had Old Style. I had a friend that was from Chicago that was a big Old Style fan.
Now
And
it's available here.
And now it's available here.
I have a fairly distinct.
Because I compare Old Style to PBR, not like as a direct like
saying, but I'm like,
not to say they're the same, but I'm like,
yeah, I guess, yeah, without making any.
yeah, I guess, without making any guesses so far, like Old Style, I remember as having a drier finish than PBR, but also apparently I actually think PBR is a pretty dry finish to begin with, based on my notes here.
I had this like thought, like as much as I love like what we're doing right now to be like a Michigan Brews thing, and maybe it still can be. This sort of setup isn't something like I see like on YouTube like at all. Like there's nobody doing this at all. Like this could just be like a
It should
totally
live in and of its own.
yeah, like a weekly, bi-weekly show of just like it could be something like that.
yeah, I mean, it kind of harkens back to, I think, the roots of what we wanted from this show. It's just to hang out and talk about beer,
Yeah, absolutely.
and it's fun.
Yeah. Michigan Brews is kind of more
Yeah.
like brew focused in a way.
That was our
We kind of branch out everywhere, I
Our
guess.
beginning was just like Michigan beer in general, but all right.
There was a brewery, a famous brewery once in Michigan.
As Shannon would say.
Never brew beer in Michigan. And we'll never serve beer in Michigan. Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Although, okay, if Larry doesn't watch it, holy shit!
Oh,
I should probably second. I was at Bell's last week, and there is a blueberry upper hand beer
I saw that.
on tap at Bell's. So,
Which is
because Larry Bell hates blueberries, and we were actually told a couple of years ago on this show when we were talking to Ian Gould about the homebrew competition, he was like, "Don't brew any beer with blueberries. Larry hates blueberries. There will never be a blueberry beer at Bell's, so it's automatic fail from the competition." And I get there, for this concert, I look up and there's fucking upper hand blueberry.
See, I thought he retained upper hand. No, he didn't. That came with like the sale.
it was still like a.
That's what I thought. I thought it was just Bell's and upper hand. He retained upper hand.
Well, I know. I mean, I knew it
The-
was part of that.
Well, I knew
blueberry beers on there.
it was
Tells me
still like a pet project.
Oh yeah, actually they had more upper hand beer on at Bell's now,
Yes, I did notice that.
and I mean, so I don't know for sure. I thought that he sold it all. By the fact that they're brewing a blueberry beer makes me feel like he sold it all. It was funny because that was right after we were there and they had seltzers on. And I was with a buddy of mine, and Larry specifically.
Bell's has a seltzer?
Remember the quote. He was like, "You will never fucking have a seltzer." But we ordered one of the seltzers, and it was New Belgium seltzer being sold at Bell's. So
yeah.
that was kind of funny.
Somebody was telling me that the Comstock Brewery is brewing New Belgium beers, at least like some of their 19.1s or whatever those tall cans are.
Anyway, at number 8. Matt from Jaggers Brewing says we should change it to Michigan Drinks.
Michigan Drinks Cast.
I'll open it right up.
So my initial reaction on this one is actually fairly nondescript.
Yeah, it's really balanced in almost every way, but I don't think that there's enough bitterness. Like it's kind of flabby and
My first descriptor would be boring, which it's going to be ham. So
Definitely not hams.
no.
Definitely not hams. I thought it very clean, thinner body.
Feels like a little bit
light
lower
apple
carbonation.
character,
You
like
still
little
get
light,
apple.
yeah, little light apple flavor.
Get that
I've
like
got a guess for that.
fairly
I've got a
distinct
guess.
corn flavor. Fairly distinct corn flavor here, adjunct.
I kind of wish I knew.
I kind of wish I knew what a very highly adjuncted corn. I mean,
I kind of assume, every one of these.
I kind of assume, every one of these beers. I'm like, what? Do they all have corn?
I mean,
Is
this-
there a known one, which is like,
That would be
is
two
there a known
styles.
one, which is like the highest. Like,
I believe that. I mean, if you just go with American lager as the style guidelines, they all should have corn or rice. Sure.
Or rice.
yeah,
But it's going to be a very low barley grain bill. And it kind of goes back to a couple episodes we talked about pre-prohibition beers and the kind of the joke around those beers is typically they tend to be more malty, but even pre-prohibition, even late 1800s, most of these American lagers were rice and corn. Well before prohibition.
Not as adjuncty as what a pre-pro would taste like, probably.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'm moving on to 9.
Yep.
I need to reset here.
You'd think like you wouldn't have to, it's just canoe beer, right? Like
So that's well balanced again. It's not as boring as 8. It's a little bit more bitter.
It's cleaner. It had a little bit more lingering bitterness.
I'm with you. I feel like the apple is more present in this for me than with 8, maybe, but it might just be because it's a little bit more carbonated too. 8 just felt really, flabby to me.
This is sweeter than 8, in my opinion. This is sweeter than 8, noticeably.
I agree with everything you say. I don't have anything to add.
Move on to 10.
I will say, I feel like not to try to cheat, but if we're going to do a light lager version of this, I want to buy them. I want to buy a bunch of light lagers and drink them. Like I want to have some background.
Oh no! Well, The other side of the table will be right back. We just got to get some power.
A short intermission. Your backpack's over there.
I'm moving on to 10.
Yeah.
10 was like pretty nicely balanced, like real like pleasant fruitiness.
I get a different kind of like, not so much apple though.
Yeah,
Um,
different fruitiness.
I wonder if that's the
I almost feel like that's the lightest flavor of the bunch.
it's really delicate. I think 10 is very delicate. So they're getting power back to the computer, and they'll get logged back in a second. I believe the whole, while they're off the stream, so the whole mic's gone, everything's gone. So, I don't know. Oh, it's okay. I mean, it's not like I, set the power strip in front of you and said,
Right.
"Here's your power, Brian."
And if he was comes back, I will be drinking and rating and guessing.
It's tough because I know basically nothing about old style and old Milwaukee.
That's I'm with you on that. I only know a couple of these beers. Some really.
I completely forget what Milwaukee tastes like.
Yeah, and I know I've had Busch, but couldn't tell you when.
Brian, what do you think about 10? Do you hate it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's Welsh. I can't. I'm not supposed to do that.
I mean, you're not supposed to, but I asked you that to see if you hated it because that's what I would guess is Busch.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I remember Busch being a more characterful beer, though. I mean, shit, Old Milwaukee usually could be.
I kind of
Like,
know.
you think Old Milwaukee is like a more characterful, like it's old, it's unrefined.
Okay. We'll let them get back in before we start talking about our ranking. Actually, I need to do that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, then yeah, if you hate 9 even Sam's. Just kidding.
I've got a guess about 9 seems.
That is really boring to me, but I don't.
Well, I'm trying to figure out like overall like what is the most complex, like what has the most going on,
I mean, to me,
for better or for worse.
to me, that'd be 7. I mean, there was just 7 stands out amongst all these.
I have to say this. So I bought all these beers. Most of them I was able to buy a 6-pack. Except Old Milwaukee, I had to buy a 30-pack. It's all they had. So I'm really hoping that I like it.
You'll find out.
Because I got 24 more at home to drink. Or I told Amy before I left, like I got bratwurst beer for the rest of the year. So,
There you go.
I'm enjoying number 7. But it really is floral. That's really interesting.
So I need some refurbished laptop here. You guys wake up. Have you done corrections yet?
I'm starting, Jim. I'm still thinking through it. So what got this kicked off was a few years ago, I think one of our members sent us a link to an article where there were like the head brewers for like Coors and some of their ABA products or whatever got together, and they ranked, like, they tried a bunch of blind tasted a bunch of American lagers and ranked them, and they picked Hamm's as their number one, which, you know, it's the club that got sent around and kind of got taken as a point of pride, because Hamm's is number one. So that's really why I wanted to try this and do this to see, which in the first round we've already failed miserably. But the second hand of this is I will say, you know, based on the results of the first round, I'm gonna start buying more Budweiser, or at least when I go out, you know, if they don't have, you know, good beer, I know I can drink a Bud. That's crazy. So,
I'm ranking and stuff as I taste these.
trying to keep up, coming back in.
Consider, like, you know, like when drinking them, it's like the different context of like, where am I drinking this? What's the occasion? Am I actually drinking it for flavor, or am I like putting this down from a pitcher?
It's hard. I agree with you, because it's like, you're right. There's so much mindset that goes into some of these. Is it just the fridge beer that I have on? Is it my lawnmower beer? You know, am I? There's different scenarios you're gonna, because number 7 is really good, but like I agree with Brian. Like I wouldn't want that to be my everyday drinker.
It's shockingly floral. Like I go back to it and like I can't believe this is like actually brewed that way, given the context of all its beers.
Yeah. I like one if, yeah. I mean, 7 is in my, it's like tied with 1. It's situational. Too much. But as soon as Brian gets his computer back going, then we can dive into what's what.
I think it's because I like shut down because of the
Yeah.
I should have just restarted. I feel like it's here. I felt that out of place.
All right. Got my rankings and my guesses.
Just talk louder.
Your interface not working?
No, I can't see the screen. The broadcasts.
I think
I
he's
have
coming
had
back.
7 before. Definitely. That is a very familiar flavor. I have a guess for it.
Call it help desk. Love that. Aren't you in IT?
I've had a bunch of lavender shandy lately,
Oh,
and like 7 literally reminds me of that. It's so floral. I'm like, even if it's not distinctly lavender, but there's a distinct floral.
Yeah. I'm really curious to see what everybody thinks 7 is based on that, because well, they can actually hear you in our mic the whole time. So can always move the camera back.
looks like he's getting on.
Is he?
Maybe it's not recognizing his mic or his camera for some reason.
No, you don't need to do that. Take
Yeah.
take the camera there, Shanna, and just pull it back to the middle of the table and hit both of us with it.
Brian, your camera's in use. That's why it's not. There's another program that's using your camera for some reason. You have XSplit on?
Yeah. Yeah. Although he just killed his camera. And now he's coming in.
Now, if you angle it,
I think it's really slow, so it's coming back up.
A little bit more. Push it forward a little bit.
now it looks like the table's chest high.
And then turn it towards Brian a little bit.
I'll just talk really loud.
Scoot in. There you go.
All right. Technical difficulties.
Let me figure out my.
Yeah. So we should just be able to set it like that. And it should still pick up everyone. Actually, he's got a 2i2, so we can just unplug his mic, plug it into that once we
Oh yeah, that works.
So we've had 9 distinct, unique beers, right?
We did.
Damn, I'm like disappointed we're not just gonna go for another 4 plus hams. Like,
Yeah.
I could keep doing this.
I was actually gonna say, like, if we can get like a consensus on our like top 4, top 3, maybe we try those in a blind.
You want to try plugging this into the
Yeah.
too?
Mine almost, when moving around, we plug mine by.
This is
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I'm just pointing it out. I'm like, I've had this class of Hefweizers.
Yeah, Ryan's actually saying that here's about it, so you probably don't even need your other.
Cool. All right, so we should all be.
We should all be we're on camera now. All right, so
I need to scoot in a little bit more. Still.
what was?
Oh, I didn't rank them. Hold on.
all right.
Sorry, I made my guesses, but I didn't rank them. So hold on, this is going to be like. I believe my ranking, I think, is the same as the serving order for me.
So your favorite was number 6.
It was.
What was number 6 for you?
2.
2?
Yeah, 2.
It was 3 for me. What did you think it was?
I called it old style.
I said straight.
I said old style.
You know, so I agree that it's the closest thing to the one I called old style. Really dry finish.
Yeah.
Lighter.
Yep.
Apple cardboard flavor, I noted.
I called it Old Milwaukee.
It's an old beer.
Right.
All right.
So old. What is it? Yeah.
Oh,
I got
you
my
got
one
one.
right.
You're scheduled for 2.
I am. I'm halfway there. All right. So number 7, because of the floralness, because of the malt bill for me, this was tentatively my number 1, and I thought it was Stroh's. I thought this tasted like history.
I called it Stroh's too, just because it was so different.
I also called it Stroh's.
My guess was Old Milwaukee. I'd be totally happy if it turned out those were flip-flopped.
Okay.
But I had this ranked as number 5.
That was your number 5. What was it?
But
for you?
I do enjoy Stroh's.
3.
3, yeah, because I thought it was pleasant, but it wasn't like crushable.
See,
in the same
I really think it's more 2 with me because I'm like you. Like I really like it, but I don't want to drink it all the time.
But
So
I appreciate what it is.
I ranked it so low specifically because I didn't feel like it fit in the same category as
I can see
all
that.
the other beers that
Sure.
we have.
I can see that.
So it's like if I'm going for an American lager, like, and I've drank Stroh's before, I've liked Stroh's, and I like this beer. But amongst this lineup, if this is the profile that I'm going for, I'm probably not picking this one.
Yeah. There's my second.
Hey, you and I, we both got 2 now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I did not get 8. I called 8 Old Milwaukee.
I think I got 8.
It's probably gonna be.
I said 8's old style.
8's my
It's got
number
that
1.
distinct, mine too, and it's got a really distinct light finish. I mean, it's just light.
Wrong
Is that disagreement or
No, it's just.
I also think it's old style, but it was my number 5. Like, I just thought it was boring. It was really boring.
So for number 8,
Fair enough. Yeah, like I see that.
I didn't hate it, but I also didn't think it was as bad as 9 and 10 for me, which I'm going to be super disappointed if. I'm thinking 9 and 10 are Hams and Busch, but
That's
I
my
don't,
bet.
I don't think I actually put number 8 as Hams.
Okay.
Oh
Yes!
3 for 3.
I bet I'll also have like Hams and Busch flip flop, so I end up being like completely statistically just average.
I'm
Which
feeling
could have thrown
I'm
it
feeling
out.
good now. I
Which
think I
means-
got all 5 of them.
Based off of what we have, I know what number 9
I
is.
ran out of beer and during 9 and 10, so I had to make my best educated guess. But I'm down to Hams and Busch for 9 and 10.
Yeah.
Based off of process of elimination.
So number
I already know
9,
it
what was
is.
your ranking?
Number 4.
Number 4,
3?
5, 3. Number 1.
Yes, that's what I thought.
I put that as my number 1 and Hams. All right, I'm
I
gonna
feel
cheat.
like you did that
I
just
did.
because you knew the taste from the.
I did, but
I was
that's-
going into
Stroh's is really my number 1. Like, I really enjoy Stroh's. I'll buy more of that. But so that means I did. I got all 5 of them right. So
I'm so proud of me. I got Busch right as my number 5.
so I put Busch as number 4. I thought Busch was more flavorful than old style.
God, it just had this sort of like weird staticky flavor to it. Like
I get that, but I like that.
I was going in between Busch for
The
9 and 10.
ozone-y, staticky
and-
type thing.
Almost.
I get that.
Yeah.
I said overall it was pleasant, and it didn't. We talked about that like
It is.
fruitiness that isn't apple,
Yeah.
a different fruitiness. My guess was Busch. I said it was number 4 though. So I had like maybe overall less refined flavor.
So I got none of them right in the first round and all of them right in the second round.
No.
Yes. I was all around. Thank you.
So you beat this statistic, right?
Yeah, he did because he got 5.
I'm not
altogether.
sure what to take away from that as far as statistics
I
go.
think I fucked it on the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel we were given like an interesting hint finding out what Hams taste like blind.
Yeah.
And that's like the only reason I got
I'm really
more
disappointed.
than one correct.
I'm-
I found out I like some more beers than Hams now. I still think it is a great value for what it is. But geez, like, I don't know.
It is.
Was it a batch thing? Because it doesn't. This Hams, I feel like, didn't taste like the Hams that I normally have at home. I know.
Yeah. So out of curiosity, what's your top 2 out of both flights?
Oh yeah, old style and Bud.
Bud and Stroh's. Well, I mean, I gave Hams a 1 because I knew it was Hams.
Yeah,
Old
but-
style and high life.
I feel like that's cheating though.
It is. That's what I'm saying. My favorites were Bud and Stroh's. High Life, actually, or no, what I thought was High Life was PBR. So I need to fucking embrace PBR.
What was number 4 in flight 1? That was Bud.
Budweiser. So super interesting, super fun to do. If you haven't, had the opportunity to line up these lagers and taste them side by side like this is really cool, and it's cheap. I bought a ton of beer for like nothing.
That's positive.
Yeah. I am bummed that we couldn't nail Hams each time and that it wasn't the best, but
I missed it twice, man.
yeah.
It's
I'm sorry that I've never liked Hams, and this has not changed my opinion.
yeah.
That's interesting. What did I rank PBR at? I rank PBR as 2. Yeah,
PBR
That
was
was,
my two.
that was my second ranking as well.
Surprisingly, Old Milwaukee really, I think Old Milwaukee out of these is probably like the middle ground. Like it had some flavor, but not a lot. It's very, very mild, easy to drink. You know, if you're going really for that, like you talked about earlier, just that light lager day drinker, Old Milwaukee's all right.
I thought it had the driest finish of any of them.
It is. I
At least in this
wrote
flight.
I wrote dry and clean.
Old Milwaukee was my number one for the second flight. Sorry, I forgot I got my guess wrong. Yeah,
Well, hey, I got some Old Milwaukee for you.
sweet. Really, I really like it.
Well, it's good.
I find it funny because the two beers that I have never had before were my first and second ranking on flight 2.
Those were
Old style.
Old Style and Old Milwaukee.
Old Milwaukee. I don't know. There's something about it. I don't like Old Style. And I stand by that. I still don't like Old Style.
it's thin.
Yeah.
And that's like what I got that one right because I remember it distinctly compared to PBR. That Old Style is thinner. It has a thinner, drier finish, or at least thinner.
Thinner, drier. I think even maybe some astringency that it just seems less palatable. Where the Old Milwaukee, having that slight apple flavor, I think it kind of ties it back to what Brian said before. It makes it that beer that you just keep drinking. Like, it just goes down real easy.
No, I mean I don't know anyone who's like I fucking hate apple. Like in this class of beer, it's like that's not really an unpleasant thing.
Yeah, it's not, and I want to stress, it's not, for me, it wasn't a green apple off flavor. It was just a slight fruitiness, a nice apple. It was not an off flavor. It was fine. But man, Stroh's is super fucking neat, like with that floral characteristic and shit.
That's wild. Yeah.
I almost put Stroh's in
Seriously
like that, almost like a pale ale, not lager.
It's got, yeah, that's, again, why I ranked it low. I like the beer. It's a great beer.
Yeah.
But I almost don't feel like it fits the category.
What else do we have on the Michigan Brewers agenda?
We don't know. I don't know. We have a list of other shows to do that we want to do. You know, I still kind of harken back to I'd love to do that guided tasting with Gail when she has time. You know, probably in the fall at this point, we'll have to hook up with KVCC. I've been in email contact with the Mill Project in Vicksburg to do a recap of what's going on with them. Hopefully we can set something up in the near future with that. Episode 100 is scary how close it is, and we still don't have a plan for it.
It's in 3 episodes.
And yeah, and then we also we need to do the recipe. So we have this plan. I think we've talked about it before, but we want to design a recipe, brew the recipe, film it, and then air that piece, and then kind of cut in where we're actually tasting it. So we have one show where we've talked about recipe creation, we've brewed the beer, and then we actually have the final product in front of us. But we kind of need to kind of figure out, you know, where and how and when to do that. So those are all things that are coming. We would always still, of course, love to do homebrew reviews and other tastings. I want to add, I don't know if doing the light lager version of this, I'm down for it, but I think it would be fun to do the import. More flavor.
Like Heineken, Pilsner Urquell.
Yeah, Heineken, Pilsner Urquell. Yep. There could be a fucking Mexican lager flight. You know, we could do, you know, Modelo, Corona, Dos Equis. Yeah. I think it would be super fun to do. I mean, maybe we could do that, like 2 flights, but in the same show. We could do a European lager and a South American Mexican lager category, or just import. That would be super fun. I would love to do a stout version too, but it might be a little bit more difficult.
But I love Guinness. It's my second favorite beer.
I mean, you could do like
You have to compare it to
Guinness
like
and
other
Guinness
international
Extra.
Irish
Yeah.
lagers.
Yeah.
Well, it's you have to be like what are the other ones? I'm going to screw this up, and David's going to yell at me. But like Murphy's or
Yeah, it was the only one I really know.
yeah.
And I went to Tiffany's, like, it was probably winter, but like probably last year. But I was looking for an ESB, and they didn't have a single freaking one. And I ended up taking home like a very traditional like English brown ale. And I'm trying to remember, it was like, is Samuel Smith? We
Yeah.
can just find out. It might have been a Samuel Smith's beer.
I'm pretty sure they have
Um,
brown.
Yeah, really interesting, really unique, like English brown ale. But I think they also do a stout like that.
live no
could be- Yeah. So in that realm of like very traditional, like
Yeah. So I mean, that's what's kind of coming up for us. We're still playing this by ear. Summer's upon us. We're in the middle of wrapping up Michigan Beer Cup. We'll be out at Michigan Homebrew Festival the third weekend in August. So if anybody that's listening to this that doesn't know what that is, please look that up, MHF or MichiganHomebrewFestival.com. It's Beer Christmas in Michigan. It's probably the best thing you can do in August. So we'll be in Lake Orion for a weekend where we'll have our Keeper's Bar. We'll be serving beer. We will be doing the Michigan Beer Cup award ceremony and then just general good-natured shenanigans. I think that's all that's coming up. So we still have to figure out episode 100 soon. If anybody's got any ideas for that,
Well, they'll figure it out too.
right?
Also,
But-
special thanks to Ted for
Yes.
joining us today.
yeah.
And letting us use your space.
Yeah.
It
He's
was
gonna-
awesome.
Do you want
Great.
to like give like a shout out to your brewery or something like that?
Yeah, shout out to Brewery Outré for existing, and did a lot of work to make this place exist. But no, I appreciate having you guys. Like, it's fun to be like still part of the homebrew community because I feel like fundamentally, like I still have a homebrew mentality that like I'm constantly learning. Like I've only been brewing in the system for like 15 months, and so I think my beer has definitely gotten better, and I hope it will continue to. And like I still learn from like talking to you guys. Like there's always like interesting stuff, like interesting scientific articles, which like homebrewers pour over.
Yep.
And even like really small batch stuff, like I think is still like a very valid experiment. Like of course it's going to scale up differently, but like if you want to learn fundamentally like what a thiolized beer is compared to a normal London 3, it's like the homebrew batch will tell you. You will know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's great to like hang out with you guys. I appreciate it.
Well, Ted hosts somewhere between like a third and half of our homebrew meetings too, like for keeping the crowd. So thank you for that as well. We appreciate your space.
Hell yeah. And I even throw out meetings when you're not even open and you still manage to comply. So thank you. Yeah, we appreciate it. So, yeah, I think that's it. We don't have a fixed schedule. It is early July, so we will probably get another couple episodes out before MHF, maybe
Maybe even 100.
even 100.
Hopefully not. Episode 100.
At MHF?
At MHF.
I'm feeling it.
Oh man,
It could be.
that feels right in my heart.
It does. Kind of. You should come to MHF. Totally should.
I should.
You should.
Yeah. I go with the calendar.
All right. That's it. Yeah. Thank you so much. This was super fun. Thanks for watching, hanging in there with us. Peace out. Now that I'm the only one driving, I got to do this brand thing. Check out
Special
our.
thanks to Shayna.
Yeah, thank you,
Yes, thank you,
Shayna.
Shayna.